Okay, that's not working. Let's try again. Let's see.
If that's not working, oh, there it is.
Is that working now?
Yes.
Now? Okay, perfect. Let me try to. Whenever I try to get it in slideshow mode, that's when it seems to kind of freeze up. Let's see if this works. Okay, can you see that now?
There we go.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Alex Martin. I am the CTE marketing specialist for the Department of Public Instruction, and I assist with all of our marketing and social media needs for CTE. So thank you so much for having me here today. I am excited to chat with you a little bit about social media and how you can easily use social media to promote or to remind or educate people about different things. So why should you use social media, and why do we use it at the Department of Public Instruction for CTE specifically? So we use social media to inform, persuade, and remind. So we're thinking about the key elements of marketing. We want to inform people about what it is that we're doing. We want to persuade them to attend something or to learn about something or to invest in something. And we want to remind our stakeholders what it is that we're doing, and we can do all of those things. We can inform, persuade, and remind our stakeholders through social media by creating some type of artifact that people can look at later. We can expand our audience and reach. We can reach new people. We can educate people that we wouldn't typically have in front of us. We can tell our story, what it is that we're doing. We can gain and share ideas, and we can, of course, connect with our community. We can network. And so these are all reasons that we are utilizing social media for CTE, but they can also be reasons that you might utilize social media within your own organizations. So I thought today that we would talk a little bit about the different platforms that we use within CTE and that you might already be using or you're interested in using, talk about some of the different platforms, their purpose, what they're used for, and then we can kind of break down how you can streamline posting on these different platforms. So the first thing is YouTube, which is a video sharing platform. We in CTE, we use our YouTube channel to house our videos for conferences or for events. If people have directions or instructions or pre-conference information that needs to be given out, it's also a great place to store any type of videos. The great thing about YouTube is that it allows you to list your videos in playlists so they can be public where anyone can see them. They can be unlisted where you need a link to see them. And then of course they can be private where the access has to be given by the person who published the video. So we have our summer conference videos on there. They can be organized into a playlist by the content area or the program area, or it could be as easy as categorizing things by event. And it's just an easy way to organize your videos and to have an easy link that you can send out to people that's very accessible. So Twitter, the facts about Twitter, there are more than 145 million active users each day using Twitter, and they're sending out 500 million tweets each day. So Twitter is free to set up. There are options to upload visuals and text or text only. You do have a limited number of characters for Twitter, so it's a much shorter amount of text for your stakeholders to read. You can link videos, and you can also link to alternate websites, which allows people, again, you could have a YouTube video that's linked on your YouTube or a YouTube video that's linked on your Twitter account, so it's easy for people to click through and to look at that information. So an example of our Twitter account, here's just an example of a Twitter post that we had, and you can see we're utilizing hashtags. And on Twitter, I think the best tip for Twitter is typically 2 to 3 hashtags. I think you can do as many as you want as long as it fits into the character limit, but 2 to 3 typically creates the best type of reach and appeal. And whenever you're thinking about utilizing hashtags on any social media platform, if you're using a hashtag for something that's got a lot of followers like on Instagram where you can see the number of people that that hashtag would reach. Anything that's kind of in the like 10,000 range or less allows you to maybe tap into a group, an audience who would actually see your post, especially if you're trying to start and grow your page. But best tip for Twitter is typically 2 hashtags or so per tweet. Instagram. On Instagram, there are more than 1 billion people who are using Instagram each month, and I'm sure that number is consistently growing. 81% of the people who are using Instagram are using it to research products and services. So not only are people going there to see pictures of people that they may know on a personal level, but people are utilizing Instagram and all of our social media platforms for that matter to research products and services. Our platforms are all growing in terms of a search engine for people to go look at a product or a service or to learn about a company. A lot of people's first point of access to try to do that research is utilizing social media. So Instagram is the #1 social media platform for people to connect with brands. It's also free to set up. Instagram does need a visual to create a post, unless it's just a text-based story post. It does need some type of visual for the news feed. And you can post videos and reels. The reels are obviously the kind of growing aspect of Instagram, where lots of people are kind of channeling their efforts these days when we're trying to reach new people. Reels are the future of Instagram, we've heard. And so utilizing Reels allows you to kind of expand your reach more so than just a still picture. You have stories where you can have disappearing information that's available for 24 hours. You can have Instagram Live or live stream videos, and Facebook and Instagram can post at the same time through the Facebook Business Suite or Meta. You have the ability to streamline and schedule your posts very easily for both Facebook and Instagram at the same time, which is a great time saver. And you can also plan out your posts. So there's some thought behind what day you're going to post what and what time your audience is most active. And the Meta profile on Facebook tells you a lot of those statistics and insights. So that's a very helpful tool, and it's free. It's a very helpful tool to allow you to look at both of those platforms. And the only thing you need to do is have both of your Instagram and Facebook accounts set to a business account. And then you have the ability to streamline those posts. And again, just an example of an Instagram post. Best practice for Instagram is the 3 to 5 range for hashtags. And again, you can have as long of a post as you would like. On Instagram, you have a little bit more flexibility than Twitter. But we do see that shorter captions or typically are a little bit more more easily read in terms of comparing that to a much longer post. But the Instagram kind of best practices for hashtags is somewhere in the 3 to 5 range. Again, your hashtags allow you to expand your reach to other audiences who aren't already following your page. So the facts about LinkedIn: there are more than 30 million companies who are using LinkedIn for business, and brands can use LinkedIn to promote and connect their products as well. We're also seeing a trend of LinkedIn becoming more personal than just business focused. So people posting more personal aspects about their business or their working environment or whatever the case may be. There's been a shift where it's not so business focused. We're seeing more personal things being posted on LinkedIn. It's also free to set up, as the other platforms are. You can post visuals and text, videos only, or text only, and you can again link to alternate websites, which if you're trying to promote an event and you need a link to sign up, you can easily do that and have a hyperlink that people can click through very easily. Again, just another example of how we are using LinkedIn for CTE. We post things that we think are going to help either inspire our teachers or reach our teachers. We like to post things that might reach other stakeholders who might be interested in CTE, business and industry, things that might appeal to students and parents who are learning about CTE or what that could offer for their child. So a couple of different audiences, and each of these platforms allows us to meet our audience where they already are. Facebook. There are more than 2.93 billion people using Facebook every month, and 2/3 of our Facebook users report that they're visiting local pages at least once a month. So again, we're seeing that Facebook is being used to learn information about a business or company, not just Googling to find out their hours or their phone number. people are going directly to Facebook to look up things about businesses. Facebook is free to set up as well. You can have text only, visuals, videos. You can link to alternate websites very easily. Facebook also has a stories option, and your stories on Instagram and Facebook can be posted simultaneously as well as your post. You have Facebook Live options for live stream videos that people can jump into. And Facebook and Instagram, again, you can post those things at the same time using the Facebook Business Suite, or Meta allows you to post things at the same time and look at those insights. And here's just a quick screen grab of what the insights can look like for a page. So if you're utilizing Facebook's Business Suite through Meta, you can get that free feedback. It's not something you have to pay extra for. You can look at your audience and the activity from your page. All of your platforms that we've mentioned, whether it's LinkedIn or Twitter, they all offer some type of insight and feedback that you can see with your business profile. So you can see who's looking at your pages, who's clicking through to links. So it's a very organic way to see what's happening and what people are doing. Of course, if you are purchasing ads or buying ads on any of these platforms, there are additional insights that you can see. But what I'm showing you today are things that are just provided with these platforms. If you're just getting started and you want to see what's available, these are all free options to check out and see how your posts are standing up to other things you're posting, and how your reach looks at that moment. So again, just another example of the same post posted on Facebook. And you can see we're utilizing the hashtags, and we've got the same content, the same post as we posted on Instagram, and it just publishes to both platforms at the same time. So when we're thinking about all of our social media platforms, posting things is great. Getting that information out there is great, but we want to think about how we can do it in the most efficient way. So social media algorithms are a way that our posts are prioritized based on relevancy versus posting them in chronological order. So the way we kind of expand or improve and help with our reach through algorithms, the more engagement there is with the post, the better that it is for the algorithm, so that your post is showing up in front of more people. Again, very organically, not talking about purchasing ad space or anything like that, just how we can very organically grow our engagement. There are lots of options to purchase ad space on these platforms, and that's a way to expand your reach way beyond this type of method. But if we're just very organically trying to reach our stakeholders, we can tag other accounts. So tagging, for example, if I were to tag the Department of Public Instruction, that's a way for me to help create more engagement on my posts and to expand my reach. I could also tag a school if I was doing a post about a school or a school system, or the county itself. Again, those are all ways to help create more engagement. Asking questions, using polls, using hashtags, and posting on a regular basis. So regular posts tend to be better for more engagement, better for the algorithms if your account is posting on a more regular basis. And maybe that's 3 to 5 times a week. Maybe that's more than that. It truly would just depend on the account, but regular posting helps to improve those things. So I thought if anyone is interested, we could just take a quick break, answer any questions about the different platforms. And if anyone is trying to set up an account or making a post on an account about an event, you could take some time to do that also. I can also answer any questions that you might have at this point.
I don't have any questions, but I know one of our biggest challenges is that we are a contractor for federal government clients, and they have a lot of regulations about what we can post and the wording and it having to go through approval. So everything we find that we want to post on social media that's late breaking or new takes days to get out. I don't know if you see that at the state level with things you're doing.
So absolutely, that is definitely a roadblock. And I also feel like our schools have a similar situation. If they're wanting to share information, a lot of school systems have a lot of policies in place that prevent them from utilizing social media like other schools might be able to. Lots of different sets of rules. And that is so hard, because the part about social media that helps to kind of improve your engagement is, of course, sharing that breaking news, right? You want to be the first to show that information. You don't necessarily want it to be something that's already outdated by the time you can get it out there. I don't know if using some type of scheduling, being able to schedule things and create some type of plan could help with just regular content, planning out things in advance to allow someone to see a calendar and to see what was going to be posted. That is a challenge for sure, though, because if everything needs approval, it is just a very time-consuming process. So maybe those platforms for those individuals, maybe they're not going to be posting breaking news, so to say. Maybe they are just more storytelling, the use of storytelling, so things can be regularly planned out, and there can be a plan for what's posted on Mondays, on Tuesdays, and maybe instead of trying to showcase new information, maybe it's just real thoughtful, planned out posts that could then route them to another platform for information that's new, if that helps at all. But absolutely,
Yep.
that is a challenge.
I really like that viewpoint of more storytelling. So yeah,
Sure.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I feel like our platforms with CTE are more storytelling. That's how I like to think about it, because we showcase what other people share with us. So student pictures and student testimonies, all of those things we try to share. And so a lot of that can be planned out, even weeks in advance. And then if something needs approval, it has time to get approval. And if someone wants to see a calendar, we can show them a calendar. And then maybe if you have, something that is new that you want someone to see, but it's available on another website, maybe you just have a link that says, go check this out. And it doesn't always have to be, that could be a good way to share that too through your platforms. And I hope that helped a little bit. Okay, perfect. So let's see. So, and this kind of continues with what I was just talking about the story. So that's really how we use social media as well. So we're sharing the North Carolina CTE story. And so these are just kind of some general guidelines for things that I plan out when we're making a post. So we have a Career Pathway Monday where we focus on different pathways within our program areas. And again, this is something that we can create graphics for weeks or months in advance and then schedule those posts out. We also do Spotlight Mondays and Meet Us Mondays where we introduce staff or we introduce people. Our Spotlight Mondays typically will be for highlighting a program or a student or a school. If there's been something really wonderful that they've done and we want to highlight them, we try to kind of utilize those Spotlight Monday hashtags because, again, that helps to categorize and group our things together, which I think helps with the storytelling. So I think about it like, okay, we're using these hashtags, we're grouping things together. This is like a chapter of this book where we've got this content that's relevant. And I think then when someone is curious, like what other things are spotlighted or what other career pathways do they have, they can easily click on those hashtags, which maybe they don't have a ton of followers, but if someone's curious, it could create an organized way for them to check that information out, a file system for them to look at those things. On Tuesdays, we oftentimes do Teacher Tuesdays, so it's maybe a teacher highlight or it's a quote that we kind of use, again, something that helps with the storytelling about what CTE can do for you or what different careers can do for you. And Work-Based Learning Wednesdays, these are typically student spotlights about different work-based learning programs that are available to students so that people can see students out actually doing an internship or actually participating in some type of work-based learning activity. On Thursdays, we typically highlight our career technical student organizations. So again, it's just a different way to showcase students actually involved in career and technical education. And then on Fridays, we like to do facts. So we highlight different statistics, percentages, numbers, things about whether it's work-based learning opportunity numbers or we're highlighting how many students are in CTE. And I have these things just regularly repeating. So our Fact Fridays, there's only so many facts and they update each year, but there's only so many that we rotate through. So we change up the graphics so it looks a little bit different and we post those things again in 6 months or so. And I don't notice any less interaction when I'm posting the same fact several months later than I did the first time. So again, maybe it's reaching a new audience. Maybe the people who didn't see it several months ago are now seeing it. Maybe the fact that the graphic looks a little bit different. The number's still the same, but the graphic looks a little bit different, so that might reach people again. So I think it's okay to repeat things too, right? To tell the story, to keep telling the same story, but in a different way, to change it up so that every few months it might be the same fact, but it's going to look a little bit different as it pops up on your feed. So some tips and tricks that we've learned, it's easier to start with one platform and build that platform. So if you have interest in one platform right now that you really want to hone in on, start with that and then build your other platforms. I do think posting on a regular basis really helps to tell your story, to consistently tell your story, and to expand your reach. I like to think about, again, creating some type of system in your head. Like, what is it going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Planning out, thinking about it in terms of a schedule, and then using that schedule to help shape your post. And also following and liking similar pages or pages in your community. That helps to increase your followers. It also helps to get some inspiration for what other people are doing, what other people are posting, and that can help to tell your story as well. And using the feedback and insights that are available on the platforms to improve your postings and to help you grow your followers. So I think on Facebook, for example, if someone likes your picture or likes your post, you very easily have an option to say, invite them to follow my page if they don't already follow it. So just using those simple techniques to help encourage people to follow your page and like your page so that they see your post more regularly. Okay, so we utilize Canva for our graphics for our social media posts, and we just use free templates that are out there, or we edit templates that are out there on Canva, and that's a great way to easily create infographics with your numbers and facts or quotes. That's what we typically use for Canva. There are lots of options for different pages, and there are things for your Facebook stories or things for or for Instagram stories or Instagram posts. So the sizing is all done for you, and that's a nice way to, again, tell that story, create a similar color scheme for those posts so that they look pleasant on your profile, and that's an easy way to see all of that through Canva. You can also pay for a Canva account, and you can set lots of branding options. So you can set branding color options so that all of your coloring is the same. Lots of different options available there, but there is a free side that we use, and you can create a lot of nice infographics that look very pleasant on your page and help to tell your story in a very cohesive way. I also think if you are having people send you pictures or send you content that's posted on your page, any process you can do to streamline that, whether it's having a form where people can upload and share descriptions, or an email with a certain subject line, or if they're just tagging accounts from their own profile and then you're reposting that, whatever is the best method for your organization to get your content, make that a streamlined process up front so that you can know how people are going to submit the content to you, and you can then share that stuff out. I also think an easy way to tell your story is to schedule your story. So utilizing scheduling and joint posting capabilities on these accounts is very helpful. That way you can set it and forget it, especially if you have a lot of other things going on. It's not something you have to think about every day. I need to go make a post. That way you can just kind of set your post up front at the beginning of the week, maybe, or the end of the week, and then you can just spend your time responding to comments or looking at your notifications so that you can respond to people who are interacting with your page, because that's huge. The interaction side of it is so important so that people continue to interact with you. Hootsuite is a paid option for scheduling posts. They did have a free option that's expiring at the end of this month, but it's all going to be paid moving forward starting in April. But Hootsuite is an option where you can pay for multiple platforms where things can be scheduled all at one time. There's also Sprout Social. There are different scheduling options out there where you can streamline posting and look at your things on a calendar view, and that can really help with telling your story and looking at your insights through one platform instead of hopping around from platform to platform. We also mentioned Facebook, where you can schedule your Instagram and Facebook posts in advance through the Meta Business Suite. That allows you to, again, schedule, look at a calendar, look at your insights on one side instead of, jumping back and forth to do that. And these are some of the 2023 social media trends that I think are interesting to consider. Maybe they're not super relevant to your organization or to your clients, to the people who you're posting for, but it's just important to think about. Maybe there's one on here that could appeal to your audience. But some of the social media trends, TikTok is the place to be. We're seeing a huge increase in active users in TikTok. And we know that those are, short videos. They can be informative, they can be funny. We know people are going for entertainment to TikTok as well as educational purposes. So that is a platform that a lot of people are choosing to spend their time on. And if that appeals to your audience, maybe that's a platform you want to consider as well. There is a new app called Be Real, which is a photo sharing app. It's gaining a lot of attraction. This is where people can post pictures at the same time each day, and they're unfiltered pictures. So really kind of tapping into that authentic self on a platform. At this point, I don't think they allow any advertisements or anything like that. So it is very authentic, but that's another platform that's gaining attraction. We know that Instagram Reels will still be real important, and Reels can be very time consuming for you to make. So they can be a very time consuming thing to invest your time in when you're thinking about post. It's much quicker to post a still picture than to post a reel. But I have found that if you just kind of search around on Instagram, you can find lots of reel templates that are out there that you can just drop your pictures into. And that's a great way to test out the reels to see if, okay, should I really be spending a lot of time on this? Does this reach my audience more so than a still picture? So there are lots of templates and lots of people who do trainings and share things through Instagram. And again, you can get some free inspiration there as well. We talked earlier about how LinkedIn is becoming way more personal. So people aren't just posting things about their business. People are posting things about their own experience within the workplace. So that might be something that could be of interest to your client or to your organization. We've also talked about how people are using social media to search for things. So we want our platforms to be informative. We want them to have business hours if that's needed. We want them to have conference information if that's something we have available. Phone numbers. We know that that can be people's first place to go look when they're wanting information on a brand or a company or a store. So we want to make sure that we have that content and that information to inform people about what it is that our product can offer. And we also know that closed captioning is extremely important in our videos. So 85% of social media videos are watched without sound. So we need closed captioning and other options there for people to be able to hear that video. If they don't see that content where they can read it at the same time, they're just going to keep scrolling. So if your organization is utilizing videos or other things, that closed captioning can be a great way to continue for people to continue to look at your page. And these are our platforms. We are CTE for NC. That's the hashtag that we use. And you can see our handles there for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn at the North Carolina Career and Technical Education link. And here's my information. Again, I'm Alex Martin. And if there's anything I can help with, or if you want to bounce ideas off of, I'm happy to do that and help out in any way that I can.
This was great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting me be here today.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate you.
I have a question for Catherine. Catherine, Alex, so you know, she's with the Raleigh CVB. Okay. So Catherine, I follow you on LinkedIn, or we're connected, whatever, and you do an amazing job. And I follow several of your colleagues as well, but I'm curious, the Raleigh CVB, like, is the organization, do they have an active, and are they retweeting, reposting events, groups that are coming, or how are they utilizing it?
So they do, okay, so we do have an active account, and they don't necessarily push groups out there, but they'll push events or things happening in Raleigh. And then we have something that is called Tourism Talk that comes out every Monday. So then they post that onto those social medias. And then, but each platform is different. So Instagram, it's a lot more of like happenings and pictures and photo opportunities. And I think LinkedIn's a little bit more of the business part of it. But we have it for all the platforms.
Very cool. Thanks.
Mhm.
And thank you, Alex. That was a great presentation.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, so am I good to stop this recording now? Is that
I think so, yeah.
okay? Just checking. I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget to do that. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting me be here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Danielle, did you have any closing remarks? Are we good to end?